I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today. This is the second most prestigious media thing that I've had to do today, so thanks to Jeff Bidwell for having me on his radio show this morning. That was the thrill of my life. But thanks for coming out. We're very excited about this season. Feel like there's a lot of potential in our roster. It's the most athletic group I've been around in all my years at Murray State, from top to bottom. We're extremely athletic, and I'm excited to see how some of our players that haven't played for us yet look when the lights are on and they're playing against somebody else. And Keyshawn James and Leasia Wright were our two best players in practice last year, with the exception of Kiana Kirby. So I'm looking forward to seeing them hit the floor for the Racers this year when it counts. They had to redshirt because of NCAA rules last season. And, we're thrilled to have Kiana Kirby back and healthy. She's averaging over 21 points a game when she went down with a knee injury right after we started conference last year. And she's been outstanding in practice, better than she was last year. So looking forward to her having a healthy senior year and leading our team. She's been great leading by example to this point. But we're at that point right now where if we don't develop some vocal leadership with our three seniors, we're not going to be able to reach our potential. So that's the challenge to her this week and moving forward. We need her and Shanyeri Hosey and Natanya Jackson to step up and be vocal leaders, because we open up with the University of Ohio on November 14th in a doubleheader when the men play Houston right after us. So hopefully we can get the bank filled that night with Racer fans, get there early, and see what we have to offer, what our young ladies will bring to the table. It's going to be an exciting group to watch. And right now we're just looking forward to playing against somebody else. I know our student athletes are tired of seeing each other's faces every morning. We practiced at 5:30 this morning, and that's what we're doing the rest of this week, to kind of focus in and have the attention and focus we need to have in practice. The afternoons we've kind of started to drift on Monday, and really had probably our worst practice of the year. This morning was good. Last week we practiced early in the morning the last part of the week, and the focus was outstanding. So we may be back to mornings full time. Can't wait to have our super top secret scrimmage this weekend against somebody else. So we'll know more about our team after that, and then as we head into our non-conference portion of our schedule, we'll find out what our chances are for success in the Ohio Valley Conference, and I'm sure we'll be prepared when conference play starts in a wide open league. The OVC is going to be wide open this year. UT Martin lost the top two scorers in the history of the conference off of last year's team, so I know all 12 coaches in the league feel like it's wide open, and that's evidenced. 5 teams in the preseason poll received more than one first place vote. So we're excited about that. We feel like we're a team who has a chance to compete and be in that mix to be talking about a championship when we start the second half of the conference season. So hopefully we can work hard enough and get the leadership we need to be at that point and ready to compete.
Talk about how Natanya Jackson is going to fit in, how she's really improved over practice and the things you've seen in her so far in the preseason.
Yeah, Natanya, it's been documented. Natanya's lost 190 pounds in the last year and a half, and we're thrilled for her as a person, but as a basketball player, she ended the season with 3 Newcomer of the Week awards the last 3 weeks. During that time, she averaged about 13 points and 10 rebounds a game. So hopefully that's what we have for the whole season. For the first time since 2007, when Joy Scott was here, we feel like going into a season, we have somebody we can throw the ball to around the basket that can get us a basket. We haven't had that since Joy Scott left. We've had some great players that put up a lot of points for us, but for the first time since Joy, we've got a true low post presence we can throw the ball to and say, hey, go get us a bucket, and she's capable of doing that. She's also a tremendous passer, probably the most skilled post passer we've had in my career here. So she can bring a lot of things to the table, and she's an intimidating presence on the defensive end.
And then Kiana, just the fact that she can play a whole OVC season this year for you.
Well, that's we're looking forward to it. She's the kind of player, Kiana Kirby's the kind of player who could be an OVC Player of the Year candidate. She would have been right there in the mix Last year she was second in the conference in scoring when she got hurt. She would have been right there in the mix last year with Heather and Jasmine for OVC Player of the Year if she had continued throughout the conference the way she had played the non-conference portion of the schedule. So, the biggest thing with her is going to be her leadership. She's going to score. She may not put up the number of points she put up per game last year because we have more pieces around her that can put the ball in the basket. Like we said, Natanya Jackson, Kyra Gullidge as a 5-player gives us another look inside. Keyshawn James is going to score the basketball. Leasia Wright, Olivia Cunningham, those players are going to put up numbers. So her Key's numbers may be down a little bit, but her impact will be just as big as ever.
You mentioned last week at OVC Media Day that this is one of the most vocal teams you had, but today you said you need Shan and Key and Natanya to step up.
Yeah, they're vocal as a team, communicating on the court. Okay, we've done a great job communicating on defense. They're still loud in practice as a team. They're a loud group, but we don't have that one person yet that's going to stand up when things aren't going well in practice and pull their team together and lead them out of the doldrums or the lack of focus. We've got a couple that are trying to do it by example, but you just got to have somebody that's willing to step up and not be everybody's friend. Sometimes you have to be willing to offend people and make people angry in practice in order to lead them in the direction they need to go. And we don't have that yet. But as a group, collectively, we're still loud and we talk. We just don't have it from a leadership standpoint yet.
What are you all looking like at point guard?
Olivia Cunningham and Leasia Wright, both will be outstanding. They'll play together some. Leasia really knows how to run a team. Olivia's tremendous ability to break down people off the dribble and score at the rim, finish with a variety of moves, makes her exceptional. And then we've got a junior college transfer in A.G. Smith that'll be kind of a change of pace. Very tiny, extremely quick, and is more of a, set your teammates up type point guard, true point guard that can work the ball 94 feet. The thing we need to get out of those three is that we're not getting right now is they have to be the engine that drives our team defensively. They have to get out and pressure the ball with the athletic ability we have. We should be able to really pressure people into mistakes, and we need them to become better leaders on the court defensively. But right now, offensively, they're doing a nice job. I think we'll be as good as we've been at point guard, probably since Amber Guffey graduated. Yes.
Talk about the big opening game and playing the same night as the men, what that means to the team and how that'll set the tone for this season.
It means a lot to our players. It means a lot to us. We've got an outstanding opponent in Ohio University coming in from a high RPI conference in women's basketball from the MAC. And, it's a chance to go out and play an exciting brand of basketball for fans to see. Obviously, we're hoping to have a sellout for the men that night with Houston coming in. So Racer fans are going to be excited to see Cameron Payne and Jarvis Williams and all those people. And we hope to get them just as excited to see Keyshawn James and Kiana Kirby and Leasia Wright and Natanya Jackson.
Coach, as far as outside shooting, Bianca, of course, can do it. What about your weapons as far as perimeter shooting goes?
Perimeter shooting, obviously Kirby shoots it deep and does an outstanding job, whether it's off the dribble or as a spot-up shooter. You mentioned Bianca Babbage. Bianca has deep range, and she's going to get shots off. She's a player that she's certainly going to pull the trigger. She has no conscience about that, and she's a very capable perimeter shooter. Julia Fox, who before she hurt her knee and ended the season last year, the 3 or 4 games right before that, she was probably our best guard consistently. And she has the ability to really stretch the floor. She's got 25, 26-foot range. Keyshawn James is a capable shooter. Olivia Cunningham is capable. Leasia Wright's capable. Just Shay Lee is playing very well. Just Shay's lost about 15 pounds since last year, where she played predominantly the 4 for us, and now she's playing more on the wing, and she's a very capable three-point shooter. And then we have some others that Jasmine Borders, who's been out with a concussion, She was doing really well, had started to learn how to play at this level and was making plays and is a pretty good three-point shooter as well. So we will not have the depth of three-point shooting that we had last year as far as sheer numbers. But we'll be a better three-point shooting team, I believe, because we've got more athletic ability to attack the basket, and then you've got the inside-outside ability of Natanya Jackson.
And toughness of the league, too. I think 5 teams received first-place votes, and there were teams in between the 2 sections that didn't get them, and you guys weren't even among those. I think you'll be up there in the mix. It may be as tough a league as we've seen in a while.
It's from a competitive balance standpoint, there's no question. You know, there are a lot of outstanding coaches in the league, and people have good returning players. Martin returns a great player, and Jones inside that averaged 13 points for him last year will probably step up and see a lot of production. They have some transfers that'll help their case. Eastern Illinois brings a lot of people back, even though they lost 4 seniors, and Belmont brings everybody back. TSU, Jacksonville State, you know, you can go through the list. But I think every coach in the league really believes that this is going to be, you know, one of those years where the team picked 12th could be in the mix when you come down to the final couple weeks of the season. And, you know, that's exciting, but at the same time, you know, it kind of has you a little nervous. You don't know what to expect. And this is the first time, and probably, if you think about it, probably 6 years that the league is completely wide open. I mean, because you had Butler and Newsom at Martin and Kenya Nixon at Eastern Illinois. You go back before that, we had Guffey and Hayes and Joy Scott, and, you know, now the league is completely wide open. It's going to be exciting.
All right, Coach, thank you. Rob will be available if you guys have some other questions.
Will's got a very important question.
Oh, that's right. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know how important. I just wanted
Let's
you to
not leave
talk.
out Will Aubrey by any
Is this
stretch.
a lineup question?
I just wanted you to talk about the players at the 4 spot. We've talked about wings and point guards and the center. Talk about the players at the 4 spot.
Keyshawn James will play the 4. She's very athletic, 5'11", in the mold. Now, she's not the shooter that Ashley Hayes will, but she's in that mold as a freshman. Ashley Hayes wasn't the shooter she was at the end of her career, at the beginning of her career. KJ can get the job done. Shan Hosey's going to play some 4. Lexi Cassell, a freshman that can really shoot the three-point shot very well. You know, she's still finding her way, but she'll probably see some time at the 4. And then, you know, we can play Kyra Golich and Natanya Jackson together with a big lineup. So we got a lot of versatility. Shay can rotate over and play the 4. We'll play 4 guards a lot. Bianca Babbage may see some time at the 4, just like she did last year as a stretch 4. So.